Blog Talk Radio.
Look at niggas laughing like we know what the fuck to do with our kids. We don't know what the fuck to do with our kids neither. Look, I know all comics come on stage and say you need to beat your kids, but as a father, let me just say publicly, maybe we should stop beating our kids. Publicly. We are tired of going to the grocery store to see you beat your motherfucking babies. Maybe your baby ain't bad, bitch. Maybe you's a bad mother. Did you ever think of that, you retarded motherfucker? That is a toddler. Your baby's supposed to like Skittles, you ignorant bitch. As soon as your baby touches the Skittles, you what the fuck did I take your mother? What did I say in the car, bitch? What did I say in the motherfucker? Watch people be like, you can't do that, bitch. You're next, bitch. You're next, bitch. You're next.
Because, you know, the fact that kids get hit now, my daughter's almost 8, never been hit. Maybe once, my wife doesn't know, maybe once. Just to see how it felt. But only white mothers are ever arrested in America for beating their kids. Fucking amateurs. They don't know how. They don't see the cameras. The hidden camera, you see it. Courtney, you get in the car. Mexican mothers, mira cabrón, I know the camera's there, what's that? Yeah. But they can't hear me, mira, when we get home, te va a dar un putazo. I can already feel it in my hand, I can feel it. I'm gonna come off the ground, I'm gonna eat you so hard. They ever take you in the change room to beat your ass? No, I won't! Come on. Alright, we're gonna go try this on, okay? Don't run! Don't run! Come on. Mira, don't run! Move your hand! Move your hand! Move your hand! Move your hand! Come on. Mira, you stepped on my corn, you fucker! Move your hand! Move your hand! Move your hand!
Justice is a joke. No point in fighting for something that isn't fighting for you. But what can you do? You lose every time. You made $1 but left with a dime. This happened back then and it still happens now. Only thing changed is the time. Imprisoning minorities just to kill time. Turning kids to felons at the same time, increasing revenues for private prisons. If this was on the news, people would listen. It's not, so it doesn't get their attention. Trey was just a figurehead for hundreds of thousands that have died from injustice, in a generation that just missed some of the most unjust times, not realizing it's wrong and acknowledging it as it just is. Back then it was just life. It was all wrong, but we had no rights. Had to fight just to get them. Now we got them and forgot them. Left them in the dark night like Gotham, waiting on Batman and Robin to stop the villains of today. Thing is, back then, villains had costumes, a white hoodie and the cross. Now it's just a cross. Trey had a hoodie, no cross, but got shot right through his Holy Spirit. And the jury said he deserved it. No justice, just nonsense. 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 Greetings. This is FTNR, Free Thinkers Nation Radio. We back, your cosmic brother, Safo BMP, with the brethren.
Yo, yeah, Mr. Smooth, yeah. Quabba Mac, you know I'm here.
Yes, sir. We back with a part 2 of Just Think About It. This is a very deep topic we felt, so we definitely felt we had to do a part 2 of this, you know what I'm saying? Some surreal
most
stuff.
definitely.
Yeah, man. It was mad funny because, like, when I was looking for, you know, what to put on for the intro, I mean, you know, these comedians, like, they got to make it funny. But you can see, like, even with the subtleness of Cat Williams of what he was saying, like, maybe you're just a bad parent. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, certain things, you know, kids are born to make mistakes so they can learn and grow. Maybe you just have, you know, faults in the way you're helping them to grow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shit's hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing when I heard that shit, but it was like, it's some real shit though.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, man. But I mean, what we were saying last time
with the show about how you were saying it creates resentment. I was talking to one of the brothers. He was like, I don't want to mention no names, but he was saying that's exactly what it created for him when he used to be beaten by his mother. It used to create a lot of resentment in him because he was, younger, smaller, and then he grew bigger, obviously, a lot wiser, and started witnessing his mother doing the same thing to his little sisters, and then he just wasn't having that, you know what I'm saying? Like, he took it upon himself to, diminish the situation. So, I mean, for some it creates resentment, but I feel for others, it's probably just deeper than resentment. It's like an underdog moment where it's like I have to prove myself. I don't know if you see what I mean, bro.
Yeah, definitely. I see what you mean.
Yeah, but I mean, it's real. It's honestly, it's a really interesting way because some people look at it as not bad. Some people look at it as good. So we're gonna have some real interesting callers come in, trying to see different perspectives. You know what I'm saying? I would really like to see what people say. Someone our age, of course, too. If they were to advocate for it to be good, I'd really like to hear, what would they have to say about that?
Yeah, if I was advocating, let's play devil's advocate for a minute. Like, if I was advocating for it, I would say that, because at one point in my life, I thought that it was a good thing because, first of all, you think, oh, man, my parents are doing it, and that's how they were able to make me be disciplined or act right or not do certain things. But then I thought about it. I'm like, but what really did it do for me, though? It made me kind of self-hate a little bit, and it made me lose my self-esteem, my self-confidence, and I had to, stay away from the social crowd because I was afraid of what I might do, and if I do that, then that means I'm going to get a beating. That means I'm afraid. So you're conditioning your child to be a certain way, so that they can be like you. That's basically what you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know exactly what you're
saying. So what I'm thinking is I'm doing a good thing by making my child be this certain way so that society can approve of my child.
Yeah. Pretty much conditioning.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot other people that I've heard that advocate for it, especially ones that are our age, is like they say, pretty much the same thing. Like,
yeah.
It's within the culture. Like, that's always the biggest thing I hear. It's within the culture. So, if it's within the culture and, I guess to them the culture doesn't seem like it's being destructive. So it's like it's something good. But why not look at it in a way where it's like, look at cultures, or not even necessarily cultures, but just look at results from people who don't experience that. Like, I remember when I was in high school, there was this chick. Maybe it's just certain people because everybody's different, of course. Well, before I even get into that, it looks like one of our callers is in. Hold on a second. Chi-Chi, you there?
Hello?
Hey, what's going on, Chi-Chi?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm with the brethren, Mensa Smooth.
How you doing, Chi-Chi?
I'm good.
That's real good to hear. We was actually just talking about today's topic or whatever with disciplining kids, on how some people advocate for it and others, are against it. We was wondering, what's your whole take on that, like, with how adults, parents, what I'm saying, they choose to discipline their kids via spanking, beating, versus parents that take another route. Like, what's your whole view on that?
So this is actually an interesting topic because I'm Nigerian, so, child rearing is normal and custom, and I thought that in my future I would do the same thing. However, I'm reading a book by Bell Hooks called All About Love, New Visions, and she discusses, like, child rearing and how love and abuse can't coexist, because we cling to the, like, different notions of love as, you know, I'm doing this because I love you, I'm doing this so that you just grow up well, but in reality, when you look at the actual, like, denotation of love, it's not, it can't exist with abuse. So I'm kind of, like, learning a new way, you know what I mean, and, like, learning different ways to take care of your children without putting them through abuse.
Wow, that's really interesting. What was they really saying about, like, because I never really heard that perspective before, how love and abuse can't coexist. Like, can you elaborate on that? Because that's really interesting.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, I took a break from reading this week, so I'm just trying to remember what the things I read. Because for me, I was like, this isn't, you know, like, this is just her opinion, you know. But Bell Hooks went out of her way to do research on what love is, because when you look at different literature and media, it shows that, like, it shows, like, when we're looking for love, when we can't find love, when we're upset about love, but not what love is. So in the first couple of chapters, she discussed a lot about looking for the denotation. And I feel like she came to the conclusion of love being caring, devotional, putting forth love, but how different negative connotations of love can't exist. Because if you look at, like, an abusive relationship or a domesticated relationship, the man, like, if the man beats the woman, a lot of the psychological processes say that, like, he's beating her because he feels like he must. He feels like he has to because he loves her. And these negative connotations are not the true definition of love. And one of the reasons why we believe that, like, child rearing is the only way to have your children behave is because that's how we grew up. This is how our culture and traditions lead us to believe what love is. But you don't really experience true love until you start from childhood and until you change with different, like, mechanisms.
Yo, that was what you were saying slick earlier, Sebastian, how, like, it's conditioned. You know what I'm saying? We were just talking about that earlier. Remember that, Mensa, how you were saying, like, it's just been pretty much conditioned that, like, you know, okay, this is how it is, so it must be the right way.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That's within the norm. One eye open.
It's really interesting. But, like, before you even hip to this, Chi-Chi, because I know before I was hip to it, I thought it was, you know, something all right, like everyone else, you know what I'm saying? But, like, before you even hip to it, like, to advocate for it, someone who was to advocate for it, how did you used to see it?
So I used to think that, like, spanking your child was necessary for them to behave. And, you know, as someone, a product of spanking, like, I thought that was what got me to where I am right now. But now, because I was, quote-unquote, abused, I don't want to use it's a negative term, as a child, it's now confused my own aspect of love, which is why now it's becoming clearer as I continue to read, you know what I mean? So I thought it was okay because I thought it's what helps kids grow up smart, grow up dedicated, but those are not the aspects that help children grow. So we just got to learn, and even if it does help children prosper, it's not the right route to take. So now we're looking for different routes, which is what, like, Bell Hooks was trying to explain.
Yeah, wow, yeah, definitely confusing love, because honestly, I just got hip to that now. Like, as you were talking, it kind of just opened up my eyes a little bit to that. Like, it does kind of confuse love, if you say, because mad parents say that. Like, I can speak for myself, hearing that, like, oh, I'm doing this because I love you, you know what I'm saying?
I love you. Exactly. Like, I was just like, what? Like, oh my gosh. The way I had to, like, read a chapter, like, over and over again. And then, like, they discussed, like, us, like, if we can't find love in our childhood, it's hard for us to find love romantically and love within our families. And it's like proven. I kind of wish I was reading before so I could give you guys more, but I can't even remember what else I read. She also talked about how our generation sees love through like cynicism. We shelter ourselves from love by acting like we don't need it, especially with the hyper-masculinity in black men. Obviously, black men are portrayed hyper-masculine. They're portrayed as only can be masculine in our society, which is really hard on black males. Of course, you know what I'm saying. And it works for black women as well, where we just, like, you know, screw love or what's love got to do with it, and it's become very popular and mainstream to, like, complain that love isn't real or doesn't exist, and it's a way that we use to shelter ourselves from trying. So, like,
wow, that's deep. If you can't find love within your childhood, you can't find a romance. That's, you know what I'm saying? It goes hand in hand, you know what I'm saying? That's mad deep. But what I was wondering is, like, so since you're, like, hip to this new way of seeing it, what would you, for your perspective, what would be your solution? You know what I'm saying? Like, how you care to seek it with, if you do choose to have children, like, what's your solution?
See, that's where it gets hard. I was reading the book, like, hoping that Bell Hooks got something from me. I'm just like, you need to tell me how I can take care of my children if I can't child rear. So I don't know yet. So that's a to be continued kind of question, only because there's so much more to learn and read and understand. Because once you as yourself can break that cycle, it's a whole new world, it's a whole new ball game. Like the way she discussed how we cling to the notions of love that makes abuse acceptable, and I don't know, it's crazy because it's like it's hard for us to actually receive real love. And yeah, you can say your parents love you, your family loved you, but when you bring those two together, it doesn't work. So
definitely see that. But we really appreciate you, Chi-Chi, for calling in. Your perspective was very interesting and definitely, you know, opened up my eyes because I didn't even really think of it like that. Really appreciate you, though.
Yeah.
Well, I'll slide you the book. I have it, so when I'm done with it, you can read it.
How about you? Let the listeners know what's that book name again and the author?
All About Love, New Visions by Bell Hooks.
All right, I appreciate.
And if you haven't read Bell Hooks' books, you should be reading them anyways. Her books are on point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay then. All right. I hope you have a good day, Chi-Chi.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you both. All right. Bye.
Peace.
Bye.
Yeah, man, that's mad interesting because I never really actually thought of it like that because until this, like, I actually believe, like, you know what I'm saying, they do that because they love you. But, I mean, now that you think about it, you can't really confuse love with abuse because then now thinking about it, it really does get confusing. You know what I'm saying? Now you have to really think about, okay, what is actually love? And then now the way I see it, actually before I even get into it, looks like we have our other caller in. Hold on a second. Hey, is Esther?
Yes.
Hey, what's going on, Esther?
Everything's good.
Word. I'm with the brethren, meant to move.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, we was just talking about the topic of disciplining children via spanking, whipping, whatever you want to call it. And the previous caller that we just had, she raised a very interesting point on how you can't confuse love with, you know what I'm saying, abuse, quote unquote. Like, for example, if your parents were to, or if a parent was to spank their children or whatever, or, you know what I'm saying, a man was to hit his wife or vice versa, and they're like, oh, I do this because I love you. Like, you can't confuse that. It doesn't coexist, like she was saying how she read that from a book. So I was wondering, like, me and the brother was wondering, Mr. Smooth, like, what's your perspective on that, on how, disciplining kids via spanking and whatever?
I'm raised in a culture where spanking happens with Haitians, so yes, I'm for it, but you can't take it you can't go overboard with it. There's a line between, disciplining your child and abusing your child, and that's not what I'm for. But I am a firm believer of disciplining your child. I'm not gonna like throw them like across the wall, a table or something like that. Like no, just like a little tap on their hand. It's what they're like younger. Disciplining, I agree with disciplining because discipline, if I didn't get disciplined, honestly, I don't know where I would be right now. Like, I'd probably be on the streets, like, doing something, I feel like children who are not disciplined are the ones that end up, being the bad kids, being, going astray.
That's interesting. What would you said that you're for it, like, you want to give some examples of, because you said tap on the hand, like what would you say is like, I guess, so-called ethical, like the right way to do it?
Oh my God, well, Haitians, they use belts, to be honest.
Yeah, I know.
If they use belts, like, well, I don't know, Haitian parents, get kind of crazy, but, I don't plan, on using, like, iguas, like, or, like, shoes or whatever, like some black parents do. I'm just gonna be using, my hand, personally, with my children. And with my family, like, my dad, he didn't hit me. My mom hit me. If it was my brother, my dad would do it. They don't want the guys hitting the woman.
Wow.
In the family. If that makes any sense.
That's very...
Yeah.
Oh, you were going to say something, Sebastian?
No, I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say, yeah.
Oh, okay, because I was thinking, that's very interesting. I've never really heard of that. I mean, personally, I only have two younger brothers, so I don't know how it would have been if I had a younger sister. But just thinking about it, that's really interesting how you said your father never did it to the daughter and how they see it as, they shouldn't, the guy shouldn't hit the girl. But let's say that was the case for someone's family. How would you feel about that? Like, would you say that's right, even if they were to do that tap on the hand if they're younger?
Yeah, I feel like that's right. I mean, at first, like, of course, you have to like tell them like, no, do not do that. But the kids are kids. Sometimes they don't they don't listen. Sometimes you need like affirmative action type. Because I know that in America they don't really do that. They don't really discipline their kids like that. They give them a timeout or whatever, or they make them, take their games away. But I personally think that that's not effective.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I feel you. But like, what about someone who's like our age? You know what I'm saying? Like, someone
our
who's
age.
Not even 20, like 15.
Well, yeah, they shouldn't even be getting beaten. Like, they should know right from wrong. Like, then, like, once they hit, like, those ages, like parents basically just give up on them. Like, what can a parent do? Because now, especially for boys, the boys are, like, probably, like, bigger than their mother by now, What's the mother? The mother can yell at them and yell at them, and they can do whatever they want. Like, you can't be hitting a kid at 15, 16 years old. They're going to do whatever they want now.
That's very interesting. But, like...
Yeah, I stopped getting whoopings. Like, I don't know what... I stopped getting down. Like, I don't even remember when I stopped getting... I just stopped being bad. Like, I stopped being bad.
Yeah, I'm
it
hip.
Just ended.
I feel you, but it's like, honestly, someone who's like 12, 13, 14, 15, like, let's just say, you know what I'm saying, that they didn't learn right from wrong. Like they steady going hard, like not listening, getting on the parents' nerves and all that. You know what I'm saying? So like, let's say you were right about the mom. The let's say the boy is bigger, but let's say the father. There's a father in that family, and the father takes it amongst himself that okay, this child, this boy, let's say he's 14, 15, he's going through a rite of passage of, he feels he's a man. So I have to do what I got to do to put him in his place. So for him being 14, 15, with your perspective, whatever, for advocating for it, would you think it's, good for him to put his hands on a kid to discipline him?
I don't think at that age that you shouldn't be doing that. Because if it wasn't getting to him when he was younger, then it's not gonna get to him now. But it's like, what is a parent to do when their, child is like running wild,
Yeah.
It's basically like, what are they supposed to do? Like at that age, like, it is the parent doesn't know what to do. You can't discipline them because if it wasn't working when they're younger, then it's not working now. So you do like send them to Haiti. That was a good threat that my mom gave me. She threatened to send me back to Haiti.
I got for Novo. That's funny. Dang.
Yeah.
But like, what would you be before we let you go? Like, what would be your solution? You know what I'm saying? Since you advocate for it, which is a very interesting perspective, like, what would be solution for disciplining kids as they get older? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's your solution for that?
Yeah, I do believe in spanking your child. Yeah, I'm definitely for it. But like I said, there is a line. You shouldn't be abusing, your child, like doing like, crazy stuff, like taking it out of hand. There's a line. You should never cross that line where like your child is near death,
Oh yeah.
The stuff you see on TV. But yes, I'm a believer in disciplining your child by spanking them when necessary, of course.
Oh, okay. Well, we appreciate you, Esther, for calling in. Your perspective is very interesting. It definitely was an eye-opener.
Anytime.
All right, hope you have a good day.
You too. Have a good day, everyone.
All right, take care.
Yeah.
That's real interesting, man. You know what I'm saying? I see what she's saying. Like, that's how I used to see it, no bull. Like, a little kid, you know what I'm saying? Because if you just look at it from that way, you can be like, all right, yeah, it's not that bad. But then when you think about it, right, let's say the kid gets to 13, 14, 15, you know what I'm saying? And they, like, that situation happens a lot. You feel me? I can speak for myself. So, like, if you don't see that as something that should progress within that age period, and you did it as as they were a child, I don't know, man. I mean, what do you think, bro?
Yeah, I agree.
One eye open.
It's definitely interesting, man, but that would definitely do it for our time today. We appreciate all you listeners to listen in. This is Just Think About It Part 2. You just heard, the advocate from one perspective, and you heard from another perspective. You know what I'm saying? This is FTNR, Free Thinkers Nation Radio, your cousin brother, Safo BNP. I'm out.
All right, peace. That's a smooth.
One eye open.
Keep that one eye open. Success.